What's up guys, MikeCoco back here, bringing you guys a new video on the new patch for Mythical raids and our Season 4 Rebirth. Now as you can see, my hero is now in the red costume, which represents the new S4 Rebirth. And the S4 Rebirth is somewhat useful, but I only recommend going to S4 Rebirth if you have at least like 30 books of command. And these are like they're similar to Book of Heroes, but they can only be used on the main hero. I've already used them all, but I will upload a video, and I used around 35, and 35 gets you from 70 to 80 um, instantly with like no EXP from like urchins or like tower. So if you have like around 30 books of command, then I'd recommend going to S4 Rebirth. Otherwise, I'd just say I would recommend sticking with S3 because the S4 Rebirth is not that useful still compared to like some of the legendary heroes. And if you rebirth to S4, then you have to level up all the way from 70 back to 80, and that'll just take EXP away from any legendary heroes you're already leveling. So only rebirth if you have enough books of command. As you can see, the damage difference and the HP difference is not that much. It's only around a 20k increase, which is like just nothing if you compare it to any legendary hero. Um, so that's why I wouldn't recommend rebirthing. But books of command also get you enough rank EXP to get to 6 stars. So in case you're at 5-star S3, you can also use like a few books of command. I think each book grants you 1000 rank EXP for your main, so you can get that to 6-star in case you're not at 6-star S3. But that's pretty much it for S4 Rebirth. Now there is something I want to talk about with the new Mythical update, which is the Mythical ring. And we'll go to the inventory right here. So this is the new Mythical ring that you can only use for the main character, and you can start this quest by going to find NPC, and you go to Sage Menalis or Menalis or whatever. Um, you'll see this guy. He looks pretty old, so you just click him, and right now I've already finished a quest, but if you haven't, there'll be 2 question marks. You can start the quest by clicking the first one, I believe, and it will send you to World God Taihu. And once you get there, all you need is to have 15k nectar and 50k runestones, and you just give him that, and then you're all good. He'll give you this ring in return. Well, he'll actually give you a box in return, but you can open that box and you'll get this ring. Um, I'm highly certain that you can only get level 1. Pretty much everyone in my guild has only received the level 1 version of the ring, so I think that's like the max. Um, but as you can see here, you get a 40% attack increase, which is decent, and you get uh, a an active boost of healing HP by 50%. So the only problem with this is that if you're using staff main like I am, I would recommend not actually using the ring, or even just not doing the quest in general, because the ring just takes up an extra slot because you can't use it on anyone else. Because the staff main is actually really useful if you don't have Amos, because she has a really nice dispel, and if you put the war god ring or whatever, sure, the attack increases by a lot and so does your defense by a little, but you're removing the advantage of the dispel you get from the dream ring, so the white ring. So that's why I don't recommend using it if you're using a staff main. So, but otherwise, if you're any other main, just use it because it'll give your main a lot more strength. Although they still are quite not that good compared to legendaries. I mean, they're decent. They're now comparable because once you equip it, it gets like 100k attack. But um, that's pretty much it for the ring part. If you don't know already, you can actually go to Marchand and exchange runestones for nectar. So in case you have like a lot of runestones but not enough nectar, you can actually go there and exchange. So just in case you were wondering, so so you don't have to keep farming nectar and runes at the same time. You can just farm one or the other, or even both. Um, so that's that for the new ring. Now, if you go to Sage, if we go back to Sage, he also has some new gear, but I'm 99% sure again that nobody has this because nobody has mythical medals yet. But you will get this from mythical raids, which I will delve into right now. So mythical raids is the new mode, I guess you can call it. It's kind of like bounty hunt, except it's one really big boss instead of like a few separate bosses. So when you click it, you go into like this nice cut screen or whatever, There's three modes you can do. There's easy, hard, and mythic. So starting off with easy, if you have like basically all 6 stars and some legendaries, you should be able to do this on auto. Honestly, I cleared this on auto and it's really easy. If you're having trouble with it, then get stronger heroes, because I really don't know what else to say. This is actually a really easy mode. If you're somewhat near endgame but not at endgame yet, which I suspect most like veteran players are, like those that are not like super hardcore, they should be at a similar level where they have a few legendary and a few 6 star. So when you enter any mythical raid, you get like these four hero selections, and whichever hero you select here is the skill that you will be able to use during battle. So there's Sara, who has a 500k damage, like basically 500k attack plus magic damage, so a dot. There's Taihu, who has a fury decrease and a shield. Raguel with a attack increase, and Remy with a spell and cleanse and HP, also healing. So in my personal opinion, I find that War God, Remy, and Sara are really nice. Sara is a really good like starter. So if you don't know what to use, like you're doing the mythical raid for the first time ever, then I would recommend using Sara, because she just gives you that static 500k boost increase each time you use the skill, which is really nice. And then once you figure out like, oh, I can survive this, I can survive that, you can start switching to like War God or Remy, who have much better skills. So I would recommend using War God for like the very hard mythical raids, such as the hard mode and what's the other mode called? Mythic mode? I don't remember. Short-term memory, but or bad short-term memory. But so here you see that there's actually 12 heroes on the formation. You're not limited to 9, so you can select any 9 heroes you want, and you can just like send them off into battle. So we'll just like try this just to give a demonstration. In easy mode, or actually not in easy mode, in every mythical mode, basically what happens is that whenever a hero dies, you can automatically respawn another one. And typically when you're in a battle, you can only SOS once. But in mythical raids, what happens is that if one of your heroes die, you can SOS. And then if another hero dies, you can SOS them again. So you can keep on SOSing until you run out of heroes to SOS with. So a really good strategy is actually to use War God and cast a shield. Whoever dies, you SOS a new hero in, and then rinse and repeat. That's pretty much how it works. That's what I found. It seems to work right now, but I suspect that if you have a lot of legendary heroes, that's going to be the way to go, because it's actually really efficient, because you can just keep SOSing. So that's a little bit of strategy. I don't know if it's extremely useful, but it seems to work for me. So you see this blue bar, and I'll think of this as like a mini fury counter, like a fury counter number 2. So when I activate it, the cut screen will show up, and then some music will play. I'm not sure if this is a glitch because I'm running this on BlueStacks, but I suspect there should be like an animation, but there isn't. But you just get like this. So now that the effect is activated, now I have shield and fury decrease on all my heroes. So I just attack or whatever. And basically, the more, if you use your skills, I believe your blue fury counter will increase. Yep, there you go. You saw I just used fury skill and the blue counter went up. But if you do normal attacks, the blue counter will not increase. And similarly, when you get hit, your blue fury counter will also increase. So this is like a side fury. So you have like another skill aside from like your each hero's individual skill. This is like a general skill that is based on your entire team's quote-unquote fury. I'll just call it like fury number 2 because I don't know what to call it. But yeah, it's really simple on easy mode. It shouldn't be that difficult. But of course, this is obviously going to be like considered end game, because you're doing this for like the legendary equipment and the mythical equipment, which is pretty much just end game gear. It's not really for like new player gear. So here, just do whatever. In these modes, I actually find that fury consumption is actually really hard to manage if you don't run enough fury thieves. And another really important thing is that the bosses, or like the mini bosses, will always have immunity to stuns and silences. So you cannot use the same strategy you use for, Chaos Abyss or like General Tower. Stuns and silences don't work on the boss, but they do work on the mobs, and this is something I highly recommend doing. If I can show you a demonstration for thing, I'll just skip this for now because this is pretty general. Or actually, I should retreat. Oops. Um, but yeah, there's 6 rounds. Once you get to the last round, I believe you meet War God, and if you fight him, and he'll eventually turn into a tiger form. You kill the tiger form, and then you clear the entire round. And something I really want to clarify is, it seems as if when you meet War God for the first time, or like the first time in each myth raid, he won't really take any damage. Like he'll take damage, but his HP bar actually won't go down. He'll only go down, or let me rephrase that. You have to deal a certain amount of damage before he turns into his tiger form, and then he actually does take damage, and you can see his HP bar starting to drop. Because in hard mode, you at the end of hard mode, you'll see that Taihu is basically taking no damage at round 6 when he's in his normal form. But once you deal a certain amount of damage, even though you can't tell by the shrinking of the HP bar, he will turn into tiger form, and once he turns into tiger form, you can deal damage, and you'll actually see that the HP bar is dropping. Hard mode is actually hard. I've got to round 6 at the end where he turns into tiger form. Dealt like maybe 1/10 of his HP bar and died because ran out of heroes to SOS. But you do get these nice rewards for each mode of hard and easy mythic. Whoops. I don't like how they don't have a back button, which is kind of bad. So you get these mythic proofs, and you get these these legendary chests or rare chests that you can get legendary or bravery medals. So that's a nice reward. The mythic proof, oh, I forgot to mention this, is for another quest, but I doubt anyone will finish that anytime soon because you can only get the rewards from mythic raids once per week. So let's say you clear easy, you get 60, and then you clear hard, you get, I believe, like 30. Or is it? Does this stack? I think it stacks actually. Oh, there is a back button. Yep, it does stack. So if you clear all of the rounds, they're all cumulative. So if you clear 6 rounds, you get 15, 13, 11, 9, whatever. I think you get like up to 50 or 60. I'm not sure. I didn't count. Mythic mode is probably the most how should I say this, competitive mode. As you can see, you got the top 10 players right now dealing quite a bit of damage actually. Like almost, actually more than 200 times my damage. Wait, am I? Yeah, I think if my math is right. I don't know. But yeah, but you see like a lot of the IB players on here, and that's pretty obvious. They're dealing a lot of damage. Don't be intimidated because by all this damage. It doesn't matter what rank you place, as long as you like join and at least fight and try it, you'll get some sort of reward. Doesn't matter obviously it's similar to IB, so the better you do, obviously the better rewards you get, but just try it. Even if you don't do anything, you still get like 30 hearts, and you can literally just auto, and then if you die in the first round, it doesn't matter because you still tried it, so that's what they count it as. And with the new mythical raid, they're also having a new event. So if anybody that tries mythic raid on I believe mythic mode will receive a book of heroes and 1 million gold. So not the greatest rewards, but it's something. So I'll probably link that in the description to the Facebook page that has that info. So for mythic mode, you can do party. Actually, for all raids, you can do party. I haven't tried party yet, but I hear it's pretty useful. So I would recommend using War God for the hell. Oh, okay. I recommend using War God because he has a really useful skill. The Fury decrease is nice, and the shield is absolutely wonderful on Mythic if you can't survive. In Mythic mode, I highly recommend instantly using your Blessing, or whatever it's called, your Fury number 2, because your Fury number 2 counter doesn't increase if it's already capped. It only increases as if you're like if you're at an empty or non-full Fury number 2 counter. So yeah, and remember that you can't stun or silence any of these like mini bosses, but you can stun and silence the mobs, and I find this really helpful because these mobs are actually quite frustrating. They have fury down and they have the potential of stunning, so if you can get them like controlled, so like they can't do anything, then it will be very beneficial to your team. Now obviously you want to be using as much, you want to be dealing or focusing most of your damage on the boss, because as you can see we're dealing damage and he's still, the HP bar is not dropping. Once you do deal a certain amount, you'll get to a point where his HP or his he will turn into his tiger form, and then you can start doing some real damage, albeit not too much if you're not extremely strong. So here, you know, see this, we can stun him, and then we can use the Mitra to like silence or whatever, silence the other one so they can't use their skills. Frank may also be useful to remove their fury reduction buff. I've only tried it once, but I'm not sure how successful that will be because it is 300 fury and 150 if you have him in your deploy and you instantly use the blessing. But regardless, you just want to do this. Once you get to, I think it might be, I know it's definitely past 6 million HP because the first time I tried it I didn't get the tiger form, but once you deal more than 6 million damage, somewhere around there, like 6 million to like 7 million I think, he will turn into tiger form. So here using the skill again, stunning as usual. So this is just like really rough gameplay. I'm not really like thinking about it too much. It does actually require some bit of thinking if you're not really strong, because you need to plan like which skills you're going to use and which ones you need to like control. And obviously if you have legendary heroes, it's going to make your life a lot easier rather than just using 6-star and 5-star heroes. So that's pretty much it for this part. Other than that, we have some stuff for guilds. We have new mines, and as you can see right there, like pretty much everyone just died, and that's why you really need that skill. It's still not up yet, so we're gonna use. You want to use your skills as much as possible because remember, if you use, the more you use your skills, the more the counter rises. And did my Lucida die? Yes, she did. That's not good. Okay, so now we use enough skills and we can use the blessing, and then the blessing will cast shield, and the shield will allow us to survive another 2 more turns. And here I'll show you guys the SOS. Well, it's the cutscene. So you can SOS. Well, you should have SOS before you did it because now they don't get the fear reduction. But now you can keep on SOSing. So let's say I SOS Haruk. Now on the next turn, if I don't lose any heroes, I can still continuously SOS. Actually, let's see if I can get him to tiger form. I'm not sure. Probably not, I suspect, because I'm not dealing enough damage and I don't have my Lucida, but... and it's also important to note that you can't revive using like gold here. So that's why you don't see that little like icon. Okay, so I think I was like 5 mil? 4 mil? 4 mil or 5 mil, I can't tell. 4 mil, 4.7 mil, my bad. So you get a 4.7 mil, and then this will appear, and then you if you can take down a war god in his tiger form, then you are literally a god. But yeah, this is all as much as I'll show. You want to avoid these things. These things will periodically drop down, and they'll do like an AOE, like cross damage, I think. So if you stay out of that AOE, so like if I put Karina here, she obviously will take damage from it. So now you just attack or whatever. So I'm obviously gonna lose, so I'm just gonna skip that part. So yeah, that's it for that. And yes, the guild, we have new mines and new heroes. Not everyone's in a guild, so I'll just skip over the mines right now. We have new heroes, however, and it is the where is it? Oh yeah, it's Remy, as you saw in Mythic raid. She is probably the most overpowered hero in the game right now. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Okay, so first off, she has 3x3, which is, it's okay, because you know how I feel about 3x3s. Um, but the second part of her skill, dispels buffs cast on enemies. So that's Frank. So that's literally Frank's move already. 3x3 with dispel. Removes debuffs on allies in a 3x3. So that's literally Amos and Frank in a 3x3 with only 300 Fury. And heals HP. So that's like a Jiri as well. So now you have Jiri, Frank, and Amos in one hero. This is literally the definition of overpowered. I do not want to fight Remy in IB. She will be a pain to fight because not only does she like remove like stuns on your own team, but she also removes buffs on the other team. So let's say I have Lucida and she has that 70% attack buff, and Remy uses her skill. Now she's instantly free from stuns or cleanses everyone from stuns on her side, and she also removes the attack buff on my side. So, like, what? So honestly, Remy is really OP. If you can get her, then get her. I'm pretty sure anyone with Remy will literally dominate the game. And Amos literally has no use anymore, nor does Staff Main. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Rem. She's really, really good. And we also have one more hero, which is your typical Heart Higher hero, and it is Cromwell. Skill is not that it's not that useful in my opinion. It's a one turn attack increase and damage in a row, and decreases enemy defense. So it's kind of like it's basically Tut except in row form. And Tut he's okay. He's not the best. It depends on whether or not Cromwell's attack increases as you rank him in legendary, because I'm pretty sure Tut's attack increase is capped even at legendary. I think Lucida is the only one that increases as you level her. And he also uses a cannon, which is not that great for damage. But I mean, like star heroes are really not important anymore. It's all about the legendary now, so it doesn't really matter. So I think that's pretty much it for the new mythical raid update. And yep, that's it guys. Peace.